What's going on? My name is Amy. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I am giving an update, finally, on Amy's $8 a day challenge that I started January 2nd, which was the very first trading day of 2025. And my intention at that time was to continuously invest $8 per day into both VOO, which is an ETF from Vanguard that tracks the S&P 500, and VGT, which is also Vanguard. That one tracks the Nasdaq top 100 stocks. So circumstances changed for me around like March, and I had to stop the daily investments, but I said, I'm going to leave the money in there. I'm not going to touch it, and I will see where it's at. Just let it sit, let it grow. Okay. So am I up? Am I down? Where are we? Let's get into it. I started this $8 a day challenge on Fidelity. It's it's not the best trying to show this to you guys with their app not being the best in the world, but it's all good. Let's go into, let's see, for my VOO position here. Okay, so I know you want to hear the good stuff. Are we up? Are we down? We're up. We are profit. I'm in the green. I put, let's see, what did I buy? Should say what I cost average here. Okay, so my average cost to buy into VOO was about $543.59 per share. As you may know, VOO is up and it's trading around $578 as of today. So I ended up putting in, as far as dollar amounts, where's my dollars? Okay, I don't know why it's not telling me. Well, we'll just show you the profits. Okay, so this one I'm up $25.70 on the year. Total gain 6.43%. Okay. Now, this was kind of like when I would buy these because they're fractional, there was some weird purchase amounts where I'd say $5 and they'd say, okay, well, we can fill your order at $4.65. There's nobody to sell like this teensy tiny part of a fractional share. So the numbers, when you end up investing like that between two different ETFs, the numbers can fluctuate. You can be like, yeah, I put 200 into this one and 200 into this one. And then you end up with like 195 on one and 198 on another. So there's a little bit of discrepancy there, I should say. But any rate, okay, so VGT, this is the tech one, right? I am, let's see, average cost, where's my average here? $609.88, and VGT is now trading at whopping $685.85. So this one definitely outperformed. Let me see if I can show you guys. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm like trying to show this without the account number. This is kind of the tricky part. Okay, so VGT outperformed by the total gain was 12.45%. So it is double basically what VOO performed year to date. Today is August 5th. And I am actually not surprised. I could sense that this year was going to be good for tech stocks, which is why I didn't just invest in the S&P 500. This is exactly why I said, let's split it. Let's have a race, see which one comes ahead. And for the longest time, first of all, they were negative, not by a lot, but for the long time, first few months of the year, investments were negative because the market just wasn't doing great. And then as we started to come back, VGT started inching forward. VOO started inching forward. And that was the more stable, investing. People were like, okay, I'll start buying back in the market a little bit. VGT was still not doing as well. And then things started to turn the other way. And I saw VGT with the nose out in front, right? And that just continuously plowed ahead of VOO, which, goes to show, if you're willing to just kind of separate your investments and say, you know what, I want a little bit of that growth, okay? Then you might consider, mixing something like VGT, or there's, QQQ into the mix. The reason I chose VGT was, number one, the expense ratio is less than any other tech NASDAQ, ETF. It's very small, like 0.25. And QQQ is higher because people use QQQ to do options and call strategy and all that sort of thing. It's a slightly more liquid way to trade, which didn't matter for me because I'm holding this, right? I'm not looking to like day trade it. The other consideration is that QQQ is a big mixed bag of Nasdaq stocks, whereas VGT is the top 100 only. And when you go back and you look at historical performances of these, let me see if I can pull up for you guys, you'll see a significant difference over time between VGT and QQQ, where VGT outperforms it. So let's see. So on the 1 year, it's gonna give it to me. Oh, again, this is why I don't like Fidelity. Anyways, go on Yahoo Finance and you'll see the difference. Go actually to the 5-year or 3-year tab when you look at VGT and QQQ, and you'll see what I mean. I think the last time I checked, 5-year, it was like 120% return on QQQ, but like 145 or something, maybe even higher than that on VGT. And so you figure if I'm going to invest in this for the long haul, probably want the one that, you know, is the best performing, right? So total returns on this account, let's refresh the page here. Let's see what's going on. $74.71. I'm in the green. And the total value of the account, okay, so now I remember. Before I looked at what I'd actually put in, it was $797 in total. And I'm at $871.28 right now, which again, let me try to show you guys. If you look at the bottom numbers here, you can see, look to the right and you'll see my total balance of $871.28 on this account. Whereas I actually only put in $797 and some change. So for 8 months, you know, I'm doing pretty good, I feel like. 6.39% on VOO and 12.38% return on VGT. Now, of course, I would have loved to have continued to put in the $8 a day every day. But like I said, circumstances changed. I had to free up some capital and stuff. So I was like, you know, I'll do it for as long as I can. And if I look back here on, let's see, the last time I bought, March 18th was the last day that I bought any part of a share. So that would have been for both ETFs. And I'll say this too, it was funny, right after I started this account on Fidelity, it became clear to me it would have been a heck of a lot easier to start it on Robinhood, because Robinhood, you can make it automatic to buy on a daily basis. Whereas Fidelity, if you want to buy daily, you have to remember to go in there and buy daily. They don't have an automation for it. The only automations they have is on a weekly or a monthly basis. So yeah, had I known that, definitely would have started on Robinhood, because Robinhood will just, they'll put your orders in, somewhere around like 10:30 a.m. my time. So was that like 11, 12, like 1:30 Eastern time. And, you might not get filled at the best price, which is, because they're just going to like take your little fractional order and be like, well, we'll fill it when we can, which is fine. So, in one sense, I liked having the control over when I bought those shares, because I would intentionally a lot of times buy during the periods of the day, especially in the early morning when there's that typical sell-off time, kind of about 30 minutes to an hour after the opening bell is typically when institutions are like, okay, we're going to sell some stuff, and you start to see a lot of volume and you start to see things coming down. So that was kind of one of my strategies. And then if I missed it for some reason, I'd try to buy again around like lunchtime when things were kind of down anyways. And, just didn't worry too much, but I did actually have a little bit of strategy behind that to try to buy in at different times. So yay, up on the year. Average on that account is about like 10% return, which I'm happy with, because that's beating the overall market. So yeah, and I think, actually, I think it was 11%. I forget. I think Fidelity actually shows on another page, they show you your comparisons. And they say, okay, yours. Okay, so if I look at year to date, you guys can see I'm at 11.2% return, and the S&P is at 8.43. Okay, so you can kind of see And then for some reason it doesn't list the Nasdaq. I don't know why it doesn't do that, but yeah, I'd have to look and see on a better app. So anyways, that's the update for the $8 a day challenge. Maybe I start something up like that again. I am doing some daily investing in Robinhood now that I know that that's possible, and I'll give you an update. It's two positions I just started like a month ago, so we'll see. They're not quite on pace with each other though. It was like I chose to get into one and then 3 weeks later chose to get in another, so they're not like racing each other by any means, but I can share that. Feel free to comment down below if you're interested. That one I kind of did the same thing too, where I picked two stocks that are kind of opposite of each other. So in this case, VOO versus VGT, S&P 500 versus the Nasdaq. And, at this point in time, August 2025, the Nasdaq is outpacing the S&P by double. And we'll see what, in August looks like. I still purchase both of these ETFs, by the way. I still dollar cost average into them in my retirement account. So if anybody's curious, more details on that, happy to share. But anyways, that's all I got for you. I'll take care. Comment down below if you enjoy this and you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm by no means any kind of financial advisor or expert. I'm just sharing the journey, sharing some of the fun I'm intended on doing. And I actually, this is kind of another account I just started, was an investment account that is between me and my fiance, and we're looking to just sort of grow it, maybe put the money towards wedding, and that kind of thing. So if you guys are interested, I can share that. I literally just opened and started it up yesterday with some tiny, fractional share buying. So yep, that's what's going on. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.